Hello, I'm Amanda Bradbury, and I'm going to talk to you about the astrology of this time, which is very strong, as you might imagine. So the first thing is that the planet Uranus is stationary in the sky at the moment. It has been for quite a few days now, and it's going to be turning retrograde this Saturday on the 21st of August. And so Uranus is all about, it's actually about breakthroughs, but it's also about unexpected developments. So it can be about things happening that we're quite surprised about or that we're a bit upset about, but it can also be about reversals as well, or perhaps people backtracking on a previous position. It's also very much the energy of awakening as well. So it can bring some very positive developments, and it perhaps depends on our consciousness and how we approach this time. So then, in addition, on the 27th of August, but we're very much feeling this energy building up already, we have the 4th out of 5 challenging squares between Eris and Pluto. And the final and 5th square is in October. And so this is very deep, very transformative energy. And it can bring in the energy of outrage. But ultimately, this is about leading to our transformation and, if you like, reintegrating the shadow, looking at what we have perhaps kept hidden, both within ourselves and also on a collective level, how we may have been misled or misled ourselves, or it's bringing all of that to the surface. Then, in addition to this, we have the full moon coming up, and this is on Sunday, and in the UK, it's happening just after midday, and it's happening at 29 degrees of Aquarius. So, and it's actually the second full moon in Aquarius this month. So we've had 2 full moons in Aquarius, and in the middle, we had the new moon in Leo, which just happened to fall on the day of the Lion's Gate, the 8/8. So again, this is really strong. The Leo energy is about sovereignty, it's about power, it's about shining, radiating who we are. And the Aquarian energy is about the people. It's about justice, it's fairness, it's also to do with frequency shifts and, connecting to vibrations. And it's also about unusual forms of healing. It's about being our own unique person. So all these energies are strongly focused at this time. And at 29 degrees, it brings the focus on the end of something, the completion of something. It's almost like we're poised to begin a new phase of some kind. And this is heightened even more because it's a very positive new full moon in terms of the aspects that it makes. So first of all, the moon is very close to Jupiter. So this is quite buoyant, and it brings in a focus on teaching, learning, consciousness, expansion, setting our vision on what we would like to achieve. So all of this is enormously supportive and positive. And then the other thing that is very positive about this full moon is that the sun is at 29 of Leo. And this is quite an important degree of the zodiac because it's where the star, the royal star, Regulus is. And so this heightens this sense of, again, sovereignty, but also it brings in like a regal quality. And so people who have this star strongly placed in their chart, maybe it's close to the ascendant, or maybe it's close to the sun. They perhaps have some sort of divine role to play. And if you set the chart for the full moon in the UK, it puts this sun in Leo quite close to the top of the chart. So it almost seems to suggest it's a bit like the return of a king, or the rightful reinstatement of someone who has this regal quality. And so people who have regular strong in their chart, it's as if they have a divine role to play, and almost as if they perhaps have some sort of trump card that they can play. So also at this full moon, there are some other very positive astrological influences. And one of them is that we have Mercury and Mars sitting very close together in Virgo. And Virgo is a sign of discernment. And so Mercury in Virgo is about listening to our body. And it's also about natural health and healing, and perhaps maybe taking active steps towards helping ourselves with natural health, healing, immunity, coming up with a plan, looking for protocols. This is all very much the energy of Virgo. And it's also about looking in a very discerning way at what is being presented to us too. And, you know, being quite assertive if this doesn't quite seem to hang together. You know, Virgo is very much about putting the pieces of the puzzle together. So this is also very helpful influence that's being heightened at this time. And the other thing that really stands out is that there's a grand trine in air signs at this full moon. So we have Venus in Libra connecting to the North Node in Gemini, and then forming a grand trine to Saturn in Aquarius. And so these air signs are very, very rational and logical, able to maybe cut through to see beyond what is really going on. And also in terms of relationships, it brings in a focus on harmony and also connection. And I feel that this is really important in this month of heightened Aquarian energy, because although the Aquarian energy can be very positive, it can also bring in sometimes a feeling of a distancing or a separation. And, you know, this can be a subtle thing or it can be quite intense. And so Venus in Libra is very helpful because it enables us to cooperate, to communicate, to find meeting points, to understand each other, to come up with workable solutions. It's so I think it's very helpful for us to have this grand trine in air at this time. So it's a very buoyant full moon. And it feels like it's really important to make the most of it, to capitalize on it, and to support ourselves as best as we can through this time by spending some time alone, perhaps. That's also the energy of Aquarius. It's a bit like being able to you know, walk to your own drumbeat and to be able to retreat, be in your own space. And perhaps to spend time in nature as well, because of the Virgo energy. And so just to bring in some color for this time, this is a Color Mirrors special bottle that was created especially for this time that we're experiencing at the moment. So it's orange and platinum. So the orange is very helpful for shock, and this can be reflective of the Aquarian energy. But it's also about bliss and joy, and which is Leo. You know, Leo is about really being in the heart and being joyful and celebrating all the wonderful things that we have in our lives and the changes that are happening. and, you know, what's really opening up for us. So it's about being very creative about the situation that we find ourselves in. And then the platinum is about stepping into the new you. It's about dissolving and releasing the energies that we no longer wish to carry forward, that perhaps have been holding us back. And it's almost like just throwing it all into the fire and letting it dissolve and release. And the platinum also has a starry connection as well. So it's very much about, it's an otherworldly energy. So it's opening up to those higher beings, that angelic energy, and allowing ourselves to be assisted by that at this time. So thank you very much for listening. And so I've been talking about the collective astrology. And if you're interested either in finding out more about astrology, and you may perhaps be interested in a workshop by Zoom, or if you're interested in a one-to-one session, either by Zoom or in person, you can find out more about me and get in touch via my website, which is amandabradbury.com. Thank you.